Paimon has so many questions about his true identity. Let's go.
Wait, did I hear that right?
That's right.
No, but why? Technically...
Neverlet! Sidine! Hey there! What are you two talking about?
Ugh, Traveler and Paimon, please help me talk our Chief Justice out of this. He wants to investigate a case on his own. Now, this is completely unprecedented. How can we have the Udex acting like a private detective? Hmm?
I trust that you'd be able to work that out with how well connected you are, but I must apologize. I do not plan on relying on anyone else's help for this matter.
So, what is it exactly? It sure sounds serious if it's something you...
A Melusine named Kiara received a threat letter.
And then?
That is all the information I have acquired at this stage.
I have no idea why you're so hung up over this. I've checked the schedule in advance, and it seems like there aren't any trials today. So, if you insist, I have no objections.
Thank you for understanding. I will leave a note explaining my absence on my desk. I would appreciate it if you could take... She may have no interest in official affairs, but standard procedure dictates that I'm still responsible for reporting to her.
Yes, understood. I'll come back later and deliver the note to her.
Judging from Sidine's reaction, it must be pretty rare for you to investigate stuff personally. What's...
I cannot tell you just yet, but it reminded me of certain past events. There could be complicated conflicts of interest behind all this, so I must eliminate all risks.
Come on! Stop being so secretive! We still have no idea what's going on!
It is not my intention to keep you in the dark, but I need some time to revisit those memories and collect my thoughts. Long story short, a little more than 400 years ago, I became the Udex of Fontaine and initiated a series of institutional reforms. There were few people I could trust, but I had two subordinates who were exceptionally trustworthy and capable. Carol, a Melusine, and Vautrin, leader of the Special Security and Surveillance.
They must have been amazing people to receive such high praise from you!
Indeed. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to protect them. The reforms damaged the interests of some, and the more conservative faction took advantage of Carol's identity to instigate political unrest. The incident resulted in Carol taking her own life, and Vautrin being exiled. From then on, I've been especially careful when dealing with cases related to Melusines. All Melusines used to live a secluded life away from human society. I granted their wishes when some of them, including Carol, asked me to bring them to the court of Fontaine. Many common folk believe that I share a special bond with the Melusines, and Whatever they do can be traced back to me. Some of them, especially those who hold a grudge against me, I have nothing against the opinions of others, but the moment it has already happened once, and
even so, why do you have to be the one? There's the guards, the Marechaussee Phantom, and the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. Aren't they more than enough to figure out what's going on?
based on prior experience, there is a high chance that those who hold hostility towards me do not belong to the same department. The political system of Fontaine is relatively complex, and however, since I am technically an outsider in Fontaine, a lot of trouble could be avoided if I...
Outsider? But aren't you the Chief Justice of Fontaine? Why would you...
I understand where you are coming from, but there is not necessarily a connection between my responsibilities and how I perceive myself. You know very well about my true identity, and have even met others of my kind in other nations. Even though I was born with a human form, there is a fundamental difference between dragons and humans. Taking on the role of Chief Justice does not make me a part of this community. In fact, the status I was granted has prevented me from forming deeper bonds with others. I have lived in Fontaine for a long time, but I do not belong here. That is why I call myself an outsider. A fish out of water.
Yeah, we have nothing to do with all those organizations anyway. So how about we come with you on your investigation? Let's team up and round up all the bad guys lurking in the dark.
That does not sound like a bad...
Oh, Paimon's starting to get a little embarrassed.
I will write my note of absence right away. Let us go. We should visit Kiara first and try to gain a better understanding of the situation.
So Neuvillette feels like he doesn't truly belong here in Fontaine, but Paimon feels like he has a kinda skewed perspective on a lot of things. Paimon's been thinking. You called yourself a fish out of water, right? But since you're the Hydro Dragon, would a dragon out of water suit you better?
Thank you for your suggestion. I will consider using the more... Please allow me to rephrase. Has a dragon out of water?
Ugh. That sounds kind of weird. Let's stick with the previous version instead.
weather's amazing.
Kiara.
Huh? Monsieur Neuvillette! And you are? Oh, I remember. You're the traveler and...
Aw, she's adorable!
Thanks for the compliment. Is there anything I can...
I heard from Sidine that you received a threatening letter.
A threatening letter? Oh, right! The letter fell through the crack in my door as I was heading out this morning. It said something about catching me, so I thought someone wanted to play hide and seek. But Sidine told me it was a threatening letter, and that I could be in danger. But that's not gonna happen with everyone looking after me, right?
Have you run into any suspicious-looking people recently?
Suspicious-looking people? What counts as suspicious? Ah!
Did you think of something?
Nope. I don't remember meeting anyone like that.
Do you still have the letter with you? I want you to show me.
Oh, let's see. Found it!
Now then, get lost. If you don't leave the Maréchaussée Phantom, I will come and catch you in person. Don't... A simple threat. Neither the handwriting nor the we can't rule out that Since you can't think of anyone suspicious, I will be heading back. Kiara, you should come with...
Sure! Wait, no.
But you are being watched right now. Going off on your own could be dangerous.
And that's where we come in to help. We'll stay with Kiara and make sure she's safe. With us around, anyone scheming to hurt Kiara can forget about it!
Thank you, Traveler. Big Sis Paimon.
Oh.
All right, let us go our separate ways for now. Please take care of...
We'll take her to a lost place right away! See you... So, Kiara, how old are you?
Let me think. 1, 2, 10? I can't remember. But I remember coming to the Court of Fontaine with Carol and Neuvillette. That must have been a long time ago.
Carol? Didn't Neuvillette mention her just now? That was more than 400 years ago! Why would Paimon be a big sister to you?
My memory isn't that good. But Carol told me I could address others based on how I feel about them. Paimon feels a lot more grown up than me, so you're a big sis.
Huh. Paimon sees. Hey, Traveler, did you hear that? Strange. Paimon...
Olaf!
Kiara, you're here. Huh? Wait, aren't these two...
Oh, they're the Traveler and Big Sis Paimon.
I thought so. What brings you here? Did you run into any trouble?
It's not really trouble anymore with us around.
May I begin inspecting the store as planned?
Of course.
No hazards detected. You've cleared the inspection. Seems like the criminal from that case last month never set foot in here at all.
That was quick. What were you inspecting?
I took a look around the shop. Neuvillette says that us Melazines have special eyes that can see things people can't. Things like bloodstains. No matter how hard you try to clean them up, we Melazines can see the residual stains for some time. Pretty cool, huh?
All right. Now that you're done inspecting, can we have a chat? Hear me out. I'm planning to release an outfit for children next month and wanted to hire you as my model.
Of course! Is there anything I need to do?
Please wait a moment while I take your measurement.
Seems like they get along, huh? What are you looking at? Is there really someone watching us? Shh!
strange. Why isn't he back?
Gotcha! Charlotte, what are you doing here? Oh, wait, don't tell Paimon you're the one who sent Kiara...
Threat letter? What threat letter? This is starting to feel like an interrogation. Okay, I'll be straight with you. I don't know the slightest thing about that threat letter you mentioned. I only wanted to follow Monsieur Nouvelette and request an interview with him.
You want to interview him?
That's right. I'm not the only one, you know. Interviewing him is every journalist's dream. But it's not an easy task to accomplish. The Palais Mermonia rarely accepts appointment requests from us, and we never have the chance to interrupt when the court's in session. So imagine how surprised I was seeing him out on the streets today. It seemed like you were investigating something too. The perfect opportunity to whip up an... Of course, I'll make sure to turn in my manuscript to him for review. I have my principles, and I'd never publish an article without the consent of all parties involved.
Yeah, we're doing a secret investigation that can't be made public knowledge.
I see. Well, if you say so, I guess I'll put this matter aside for now. Oh, what a shame. Chances like this don't come by very often, you know. In exchange, could you tell me what the threat letter is about?
All right, then.
What? Someone's targeting a cute little Melazine?
Shh,
It just so happened. I'll ask my colleague, but I gotta warn you.
why?
People care a great deal. Anyway, I'll get going now.
Well, that was a nice chat.
What do you think? The design...
I think it's great.
Huh. It's very pretty.
Cloran, what are you doing here? It seems that you just showed up out of nowhere.
As I passed by the Palais Mermonia, I heard that Nouvelette was investigating a case with you. Technically speaking, he and I are under an employer-employee relationship. It didn't feel right to have my employer personally take on such trivial cases. I happened to have some time at the moment, and came to take a look. I sometimes have my clothes custom-made at this boutique, in any case, so we always have a lot to talk about.
Ah, Nouvelette sure is lucky to have someone like you.
Leave this to me. You should go meet up with Nouvelette.
Okay, then, we'll leave Kiara in your hands. Come on.
Oh, you're back. Is everything all right?
We ran into Cloran. She offered to help us protect Kiara.
That is good to hear. I trust her abilities. It looks like Kiara is in...
We thought so too! Well,
I've been looking over the case records, specifically inspection reports submitted by Kiara and major cases I've judged over the past decade. I've come up with two plans. On one hand, I could start with Kiara and track down the group behind all this step by step. On the other, I could also analyze the conflicting interests of these major cases and confirm my suspicions if there is indeed...
they both sound like pretty solid plans, but can you really finish browsing through all the...
Don't worry. I'm a fast reader when it comes to official documents. After all, I have several hundred years of reviewing under my belt.
We'll help you read through them. We have nothing else to do.
Thank you. I will continue looking through the ones piled up on the desk, but feel free... Have you made any progress?
We skipped through some of them, but there wasn't anything. Oh, there are so many documents lying around. Just how many cases have you handled?
I would love to answer that question, but the truth is I've never made a precise calculation myself. If memory serves me right, there should be at least 100,000 cases.
Whoa, that's a lot.
That might be how it seems from another's perspective, but trials and official duty... There are many documents here. Take a break if you are tired.
You read Paimon's mind.
All right. Let us take a break then.
Even though resting is a part of taking a break, all the silence is making Paimon feel really off.
Please pardon my lack of consideration. People rarely come to the Palais Mammonia for matters outside of work. Would you like to have some drinks, perhaps?
Ooh, drinks! Thank you! Paimon wonders what Novelette likes to drink. Oh, maybe he's a fan of real... He seems like the type of person who'd own an entire winery. You know, like Diluc. What's inside these glasses? It looks just like water.
An astute observation. It is indeed water.
So it's just plain old...
What did you think it was?
Since you're the Chief Justice and all, Paimon thought you'd prefer something more... sophisticated.
This water is indeed very special. It would not be an overstatement to call it sophisticated.
Huh?
I believe you've already tried Fonta. In fact, there are many other drink factories in Fontaine, including those that specialize in packaging pure drinking. Said water is sourced from all across Tivat, including Mondstadt's Cider Lake, Liyue's Chintsa Village. Here is one of their latest products, water from Sumeru's Apam Woods. If I were to comment on their mouthfeel, the waters of Cider Lake warm the heart, The waters of Chintsa village have a poignant touch. While one might distinct differences exist between the waters of each area, you will appreciate their intricacies once you taste them.
Really? Let Paimon try!
What do you think?
Nope.
How regrettable. It's...
Hey, this doesn't have to do with refining our... Oh, could it be because you're the Hydro Dragon? We are allowed to bring that up, right? Since no one else is around? Oh, Paimon's been wanting to ask this for ages! If you're the Hydro Dragon, why would you become Chief Justice in humans? Sorry. Paimon was just curious.
There's nothing to hide. I was simply organizing my thoughts. I accepted this position because I wanted to seek out answers to questions that had perplexed me.
Questions? Are there really things you can't figure?
Many, in fact. But the one question that puzzles me the most concerns my own existence. In essence, I neither know why I was born in this form, nor do I understand where my long life should take me. I lost many memories from the moment I was born. The primordial sea, for example. Perhaps the elemental dragons of other nations may have some form of an answer. However, they are scattered across all of Teyvat. Abruptly visiting could very well pose an unpredictable risk.
True. Some of them have very unique personalities, too.
I have been holding on to these unanswered questions for a long time. But there is one thing I've discovered along the way. My emotions my guess would be that there are at least some similarities between human...
Have you made any progress then?
Perhaps, but I find such progress difficult to describe. That's why I'm quite thankful for this chat. Such opportunities are rare. Alas, time is limited.
Are we gonna continue reading these documents?
I wasn't able to find any leads even after browsing through most of the documents. But while we were on the topic of water a moment ago, another idea came...
Water? Do you mean...
That's right. The Fountain of Lucine is where all of Fontaine's waters converge. It is the vessel of countless memories and emotions. If there really were an organization attempting to use Melusines against me, they should also hold an intense resentment towards me. Perhaps we'll be able to find some new leads by sensing the hydro element within the...
Why didn't Paimon think of that?
Perhaps we should go. There shouldn't be too many people near the Fountain of Lucine during the evening.
Monsieur Neuvillette?
I probably shouldn't disturb them.
Looks like we got lucky today. There's hardly anyone around.
What? Traveler, can you still hear the voices from the fountain?
Perhaps leave the investigation to me. I need you to take a few steps back and keep us...
A safe distance? Neverlet, what? Whoa, it's glowing! Thank you for bringing us here, Monsieur Neuvillette. The Court of Fontaine is truly incredible. There's so many things I've never seen or heard.
I understand your excitement, but there's no need to thank me. Although I have responded to your wishes, it was not without personal interest. Melusine's special sight make them
I know, but I'm really glad to be of help. Not only can I repay you for your kindness, but also, it feels like my life has become a lot more meaningful.
But a meaningful life also comes with it.
It's definitely the safest to just stay in the village. But I want to see the outside world nonetheless. In truth, I've never really understood the purpose of my existence, or what I'm capable of contributing to this world. For almost 20 years, we've stayed in our village without finding it.
I understand your confusion. In fact, I feel the same. I too came here for an answer to...
Really? Could you tell us what the truth is? Many people threw rocks...
Logically speaking, both time and effort are essential when different species attempt to peacefully coexist. Different identities and ways of thinking all contribute. There aren't many suggestions I can share, because just like you, I haven't fully integrated...
Oh, I see. I'm confident that we'll find the meaning of our
I believe in you, but you shouldn't lose sight of the difficulties ahead. If you run into any...
Huh? Is he the person I met in the past?
Yes? Do you have any...
That stone-faced human. He didn't even bother to look at me when I tried talking to him. It felt like he wasn't interested in anything but...
He is an earnest man. There will be...
Hello. Can I help with anything?
Thanks, but no need.
Oh. Hello. I'm Carol. A Melusine.
Get away from here! I'm calling the guards!
Please, calm down.
Hard to say.
Yeah, we should probably stay away from these monsters. Haven't you realized?
Why should we trust this species from who knows where anyway? I can't believe Neuvillette allowed them into the Court of Fontaine just like that.
Exactly. That so-called Chief Justice even granted them official positions. Not only that, but they're now responsible for investigating cases as well. I swear, there's some hidden agenda at play here.
Go away! Quit acting innocent!
I'm not leaving. I won't let you say bad stuff about him. We joined the Maréchaussée Phantom and solved lots and lots of cases.
Solving cases? With Neuvillette in cahoots with you. You could have fabricated it all, and no one would know. So tell me, how can you guarantee that you Melusines aren't involved in anything that occurred recently?
Didn't I tell you before? Don't go advertising if you're not a good talker.
Vautrin?
Aside from spreading unjustified rumors, if you continue insulting members of the Maréchaussée Phantom, the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol has There have indeed been an increase in cases recently, perhaps due to the shifting currents of conspiracy, and I understand...
Even the captain of the security patrol is on their side.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
You heard that?
Yeah. I don't understand.
There have been rumors saying that you were born from calamity, and that you inherently bring danger to those around you. There are countless negative rumors about you floating around in Fontaine. It's near impossible for you.
Monsieur Neuvillette said that we needed to put both time and effort in. I still want to try a little harder. Okay, I won't be taking any more of your time.
Give them to me.
You're not...
We'll hand them out together. Fast.
Monsieur Neuvillette...
Medals of Peace, awarded to you. Thank you for your continued dedication in the past 5...
I think I'll pass.
Hey, don't say that. It won't be long before Melusines begin living peacefully.
Don't keep your hopes up. We've barely scratched the surface. There's still a long way to go before that dream of yours comes true.
You blockhead! Don't ruin the mood!
Vautrin brings up a good point. The trust humans, please be on your guard for the next few days.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go!
Medal of Peace? Peace isn't going to give us back what's rightfully ours.
Are you sure we should do this? We're no match for Neuvillette, even with all our powers combined. What if...
Nah, not gonna happen. As long as he remains in his position, there's no chance he'd take us out personally. There are rules even he must comply with in the political sphere. Unless he wants to become an enemy of Fontaine. So quit worrying and just go ahead with it. I've already planned out the murder. Once we lay the blame on the Melusines as the person who brought them to the court of Fontaine, Neuvillette will be left with no excuse.
I guess you're right. Ugh. If he just left things the way they were, it never would have come to this. But he's forced our hand.
Turn the murderer in!
Melusines can't be trusted! That goes for Neuvillette, too!
Peaceful coexistence? What a joke! Get out of the court of Fontaine and don't ever come back!
The results of the investigation are in, Captain
Go on.
There is no direct evidence, but reasonable inference indicates that the ones controlling the situation are supporters of... They tricked Miss Carroll into going to the crime scene and pressed charges against her. After that, they incited panic among the people in order to make Monsieur Neuvillette confess to his mistakes and yield up power. The guards were stopped by the enraged mob and couldn't intervene in time. Miss Carroll chose to sacrifice herself to pacify...
And she called me a blockhead. A little investigation would have cleared things up. Why didn't she wait until we'd established the truth?
The situation had rapidly escalated to a physical altercation between...
That is indeed something she'd do.
Captain Vautrin, should I present the...
There's no need.
Restrict access to... Wait, are you planning to...
There's something I've never told Carol. I had a little sister named Ilaria who passed away when I was very young. She's just like Carol in every possible way. Innocent, kind, always believing that from the moment I met Carol, I knew that she'd be easily manipulated by others. I kept a cold demeanor.
Looks like she was unfazed by them.
Yes. In fact, I should have known. Those cowards don't... Can you understand how I feel?
I understand, but I'm certain Monsieur Nervalette wouldn't
That's exactly why we need to keep this a secret. Give me the list of suspects. I will take responsibility for everything.
Did you know? They're hearing a major case today, and the criminal is Captain Vautrin of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. Apparently, he resorted to personal measures to seek revenge for Carol and settled the score with the... I'm thinking... we should bail him out? Why?
Shh, keep it down! Haven't you realized? Both Vautrin and Carol are Nervilette's most trusted subordinates. After everything that happened to Carol, Nervilette's guaranteed to do everything he can to keep Vautrin around. Besides, now that the old regime has been uprooted, Nervilette's status is secure as can...
Vautrin sought vengeance for his friend for a valid cause. This represents the justice he upholds. Please, think about it. If the same thing had happened... Yeah, that's right!
This whole thing started because of those despicable cowards who levied false accusations against Carol. How could Vautrin be declared guilty for seeking revenge?
Monsieur Neuvillette.
Mr. Vautrin is innocent! He's innocent!
Order! I acknowledge your arguments. Vautrin, your revenge could be seen as a form of justice. I understand your decision, which is why I cannot help but feel regret and even personal justice does not equate to justice as defined by the law. To execute your plan, therefore, you will be declared guilty.
What?
That can't be! Monsieur Nervillette, please give this...
Vautrin, my friend.
Neuvillette. What have I done to deserve this? I've closely fought. Is this what justice means to you? Answer me, Neuvillette!
Order. Since there have been no further objections, the oratrice will... According to the judgment of the oratrice mécanique d'analyse...
Goodbye, Monsieur Neuvillette.
This all happened because of Carol's naive ideas.
How can different species peacefully coexist anyway?
Are you not feeling well?
Apologies, it seems like my memories got the better of me. I tried my best to suppress the power of Hydro within myself, but it seems like it still caused the emotions within the Fountain of Lucine to boil up due to my negligence. The overflow of emotions and memories must have...
Wow. The Hydro Dragon is more powerful than... Anyways, the last time we came here, the Traveler only heard voices from the Fountain of Lucine. No emotions boiling over.
As you said, this might be because I am different. It is not only the fountain. I can sense emotions from all waters in Fontaine. Rivers, lakes, and even the rain.
That sounds awesome!
But I rarely ever do anything like this. Emotions carried by water are always... Which ones? It's fine. I prefer not to speak of those memories. That does not... It was a coincidence, but perhaps it is a good thing that you saw everything in that form. You should now understand why I believe there to be a conspiracy behind all this.
Paimon's starting to lose track of what you're saying. Don't leave Paimon out of the conversation.
Then let us get back to the point. While I was investigating the fountain, I discovered something strange. I did not sense too much hatred towards me within its accumulation. However, I did find... I don't know what caused this to happen, but it seems like there won't be a shortcut to finding...
Oh! Didn't we read about that in one of the documents?
You've read about it? In that case...
Huh? What are you doing here? I was just about to look for you at the Palais Mermonia.
Navia! Nice to see you again!
I've heard some things. But I'm not purposely asking. Rumors are abroad that someone's scheming again, so I told the Spina di Rosula to keep an eye out for leads. We've had unfamiliar faces showing themselves at the
Thank you. Where did you hear about all this?
The Chief Justice out on investigation, accompanied by the Traveler from afar. No matter how you conceal your whereabouts, there will be countless eyes watching you. You talked to Kiara, but didn't ask her to keep things secret. People curious to know asked around for information.
So that's what Charlotte meant.
Indeed. I did not expect that this could be kept hidden for too long, but the rumors still spread faster than I imagined.
You know, it could be because you attract... Anyway, any progress with the
The suspects who threatened Kiara might have to do with a certain smuggling case, but it is still uncertain if they... We are planning to return to the Palais Mermonia to revisit some...
All right, then I'll round up the Spina di Rosula. Wait for my word. Ta-ta!
Neverlet, do you think there'll be
I have already considered that possibility, and I do not think that there will be any. As a matter of fact, once the word gets out, no one would... What is more important is how the case is perceived by the public. 400 years ago, they chose to side with the old regime and direct their resentment towards the Melusines. I hope the same won't happen again.
0.
Let us head back to the...
Strange. What are these people doing out on the streets so late at night? Did something happen? Let's take a look around.
Have you heard? Someone's plotting against a Melusine! This is 100% the truth! Even the Chief Justice is investigating in person!
What? That's it! Who's been threatening Melusines? Show yourself!
Our enemies are lurking in the shadows and won't easily reveal themselves. But no amount of hiding will keep us from finding them.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. The guards have already begun to take action. We can't just stand by and watch. Think about how much we owe them. Now that they're in danger...
Everyone, please stay alert to your surroundings from now on. If you see any...
It feels like you've been following me this whole time.
We were informed that.
Nope. We just finished our shifts and happened to be strolling by.
Have you had dinner yet? Why don't we check out the new items at the dessert
This isn't a good time.
Come on. Don't act tough.
All right.
You shouldn't ever skip meals. Especially...
I heard even Nervilette's keeping an eye on the situation. This is the perfect chance to get promoted. We gotta make sure we give it all we've got.
Seriously?
Were you planning to shirk your duty?
Relax, I was just playing. We've worked together for years now. If something happened to them, I'd be haunted by regret for the rest of my life.
That's more like it. We should stand guard until the criminal has been caught.
Come and fight me instead, you cowards! Have you heard? Even the Special Patrol came to help.
Shh! Look! Is it that Nervilette? I think he's...
Looks like there's nothing to worry about.
This is true.
So... what?
No, I should stay where I am. My appearance could give rise to unnecessary... Let us stick to our plan and return to the Palais Mermonia. The faster we uncover the truth, the better.
Order guide you.
The smuggling case was solved by the joint forces of the Guard. The list of involved suspects should be...
What does it say?
The principal offenders Domenico, Inica, Yuna, and others have been caught. Those with close connections or mutual interests with the offenders, but who did not. Among them, surveillance of Essin has ceased on account of his...
So many names. Is the one who sent that threatening letter to Kiara on the list?
Yes, there is something suspicious about Essin, to be precise. It seems like he's closely related to the core members of the smuggling case, and he moves around...
Monsieur Nervilette, someone claiming to be from the Spina Durasula just checked in with us. He said, and I quote, "We have located the suspect..."
Huh? How did Navia find them so quickly? We've only...
I too am perplexed. The cafe isn't too far from here. We should head over and take a look.
people?
These are the people who have had recent dealings at the Marechaussee Phantom. They're usually hidden in the Fleuve Cendre, but I sent for someone to invite them.
Invite them over?
Exactly. Now, I heard there's great coffee here, and so I asked them if they'd like to come and have some.
Yeah, it's our pleasure to be guests of the Spina di Rosul.
I've wanted to have a meetup.
But... Oh well, let's get back to business. Is there anyone called...
Yes,
You're Essa?
Yes.
Did you write that threatening letter to Kiara?
I did, but I was just...
Orders from whom?
Domenico. He was my boss. I couldn't disobey his...
Domenico? Where is he now?
The fortress of Meropide.
Well, I'm afraid even the Spina would have trouble looking into that place. Looks like you'll have to make the trip yourselves. This was as...
You've done more than enough. I'm
Leave the formalities for later. You should find Domenico first, if he really is the one setting up the conspiracy.
All right then, let's head to the fortress right now.
It's Monsieur Nervalet?
Welcome to the Fortress of Meropide, dear esteemed guests.
We're back! Oh, and a greeting from none other than the Duke himself! Guess we made a name for ourselves.
This isn't anything new. I figured you had important matters to discuss when the two of you, not to mention the Chief Justice, showed up. Let's assume we've gone through the pleasantries and cut right to the chase. I do remember a thing or two about Domenico. He once attempted to round up the other inmates and instigate a protest.
Who does this guy think he is? I'm unhopeful.
He once attempted to, I said, meaning that it was over before it even started. And now he's threatened. To be honest, Domenico doesn't seem like much of a conspirator. The fact that the three of you...
He's got the same concerns we do.
I am concerned about this incident because something similar has occurred in the past. I wish to meet...
That's an easy one. Let me think.
Oh, did I hear someone say Melazine? What happened? Sijuin! Yeah, and we're investigating. The person who... Really? Is Kiara...
There's no need to worry. Clarande is protecting her as we speak.
Well, that's great. But if the criminal's still...
Ah, head nurse. Do you require...
Wriothesley.
Okay, I get it. I'll bring Domenico to you. That's your only demand.
Think of it as more of a humble request. I'm here on my own accord, not to formally transfer a criminal for trial. I urge you to set aside any concern. Thanks for the trouble. Consider me in your debt.
Whoa! If Paimon were you here, Grace, Paimon would take this chance to ask for something really important.
Well, were I still a criminal, I'd probably ask for a lighter sentence. But I'm sure Monsieur Neuvillette would reject that. But enough jokes. I'll look for Domenico and bring him to you. Make yourselves at home. Our dear head nurse has mentioned you quite a few times, so I'm sure she has a lot to say.
Please come with me to the infirmary. Ah, and watch your step. There's some pretty dark areas, so make sure you don't trip over anything.
Now that I think about it, I can leave this place soon. Huh?
Please rest here for a moment. Oh, and would anyone like any... Paimon's not that thirsty, but thirst is a warning sign that you're dehydrated, which means you have to drink up even before that. I'll bring you some tea. I'm sure you'll have a lot... Typical Sijuin. Concerned about everyone's health as always. Why aren't you two saying anything?
You noticed them too. The badges they wore on their chest.
Familiar? Fine. But if both of you say so, let's go ask them about it.
That's not a bad idea. I will stay.
Anything you need? Oh, this? Are you interested in joining the Mutual Aid Network?
What's that?
We have a very long history. Going back, we have never had many. Helping each other is our purpose.
Sounds like a pretty...
But people won't...
You two look kind of familiar. It's the symbol of the Mutual Aid Network designed by our first president. From what I've heard, it's based on something called a Medal of Peace. I've never seen one of those medals for myself, though. The first president of our network was an amazing person. Powerful as he was, he never used his strength against anyone. All of us have a lot of...
Interested in joining the If you'd like to learn more, here's our slogan may have evolved over the century. Here, this book is for you.
We should have gathered enough information. Neuvillette.
Did you manage to gather?
The people who wore the badges belong to it. According to them, the badge's design was inspired by...
I personally crafted 2 of them myself. They were awarded. Carol's medal was destroyed in a fire. The only one that remained should belong to Vautrin.
Oh, so the network was inspired by...
Monsieur Neuvillette, His Grace has requested your presence.
All right.
Allow me to introduce this fine gentleman. Why don't you explain everything to him?
Neuvillette? What do you want?
Calm down. I merely want to ask, was it your idea to send that letter to a Melusine? Hassan has already confessed, so there really isn't any need to keep hiding.
That idiot! I can't believe
Let me ask this another way. It was your idea.
Yes.
Who is pulling your string?
What? You're not trying to frame me for something I haven't...
It's best if you realize the gravity of your situation. The Chief Justice, I assume your previous attempt to incite unrest at the Fortress of Meripede has something to do with this as well.
I admit I acted on impulse.
I can do that.
You see, we're all reasonable.
I only intended to do some small business at first. Someone contacted me about delivering some goods and promised me a generous sum of more. After making a few trips, I was suddenly approached by the Marechaussee Phantom. They accused me of smuggling prohibited items, but I refused to accept any of that. The ignorant can be rightfully absolved from guilt, right? Well, I suspect that someone got me locked up here so they could get their hands on my goods.
And then you decided to take revenge on the Melusines? Over that?
My initial target was Neuvillette. Everyone in the Fortress of Meripede was declared guilty by him after all. So they must more or less hold a grudge against them, right? If I could get them to strike back. But for some reason, no one wanted to team up with me. That mutual aid network. In the end, I had to redirect my focus onto Melusines to salvage things. I recall that Chiara was the one who confiscated my goods for inspection, but the letter was in fact addressed to S.
Am I to assume that the claim...
No.
Is it true that all members involved in the smuggling...
Yes. And that's all I know.
Sigewinne, please take him back to the detention center. I'll deal with him later. So, Monsieur Neuvillette.
Yes, I experienced a similar incident.
And how long ago was this incident?
More than 400 years.
You might be overthinking this. Time can change a lot of things.
What do you mean?
400 years ago, you and the Melusines you brought to Fontaine were the outliers in society. But in the present day, if someone were to threaten the safety of the Melusines, people wouldn't just sit back and do nothing.
That's right! We saw lots of people standing up.
Monsieur Neuvillette, the Melusines are a species you introduced to Fontaine when people refused to place their trust in Mel. For almost 500 years, People no longer have any reservations about you. Right now, your every decision will impact all of Font.
Paimon gets it now. No wonder no one wanted to join.
I am undeserving of such high compliments. From my perspective, I have simply been fulfilling my duties. It isn't anything special or worthy of praise. I'm simply fulfilling the promises I've made. It is unnecessary to hold me.
There's no need to be so modest. You're no longer that outsider.
I must say that you've made a fair point. Thank you for clearing my doubts. Now that the case has been settled, I should get going.
Huh? You're leaving?
And so soon, too? Why not stay for—
Thank you for the offer, but I know how this while some are here to redeem themselves, there will inevitably be those who harbor it. The less time I spend here, the better. My presence could very well result in an—
In that case, I'll have to insist. I still have 2 more things.
Please, go ahead.
The first is about the guard who helped Domenico send that letter.
I know of what you The guard was indeed deployed from the Palais Memornia's staff. However, as I mentioned earlier, I visited today on personal business.
Well, that makes things a lot easier. Hey now, don't let your imagination run wild. Those from up there have a tendency to sympathize with us. I'll have a chat with the guard and—
I see no issues with—
Great! That's one thing.
Thing was born from my own sense of curiosity.
Yep. Neverlet thought their badges looked—
I noticed the small gang as well when I first took over the Fortress of Meripede. I've looked into their founder. According to existing documentation, Vautrin remained disciplined throughout his imprisonment. In other words, how he presented himself in prison with—
What? During his trial, I could sense that his feelings were complicated. He appeared to be full of resentment.
Perhaps he had been putting on an act.
An act?
Neuvillette and Vautrin had a close relationship as superior and subordinate. Vautrin must have known that the Chief Justice would make an impartial judgment. Thus, the more resentment he displayed, the clearer it would— And to those who had been sitting on the fence, Vautrin's act was a— That's all from me. Does anyone else have anything to say? Now's your chance.
I don't have anything to say. Well then, let us head back. No need to—
Please, take care.
That trial is something I rarely bring up in conversation, but I have always felt deep regret for what happened to both Carol and Vautrin. The words he spoke in court often replay in my mind, as if urging me on to do something.
But Risley said he never resented you, right? Isn't that a good thing?
I believe I now understand what he wanted to tell me. I feel conflicted about those words. How should I describe it? Surprise, relief, fear, and regret. But this blend of emotions has led me to finally understand some things. I would like to hear your thoughts, too. What do you think of me?
Paimon agrees with everything Risley said. As Chief Justice, every single one of your trials— hey, any comment?
What I really think is, every trial you've ever judged has left its impression on you. And that's what makes you who—
That is indeed a reasonable— As I said, I find it difficult to express my emotions because I cannot fully understand myself. But I trust your judgment. These changes were not due to any specific occurrence, but I will try to contemplate this further. Thank you both.
Paimon forgot to bring an umbrella! Come on, let's hurry before it rains harder!
It's raining again? I've had enough of this weather.
There go my travel plans.
Did you read the news this morning? Quick, put away everything on the clothesline.
When is this rain going to stop?
Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
They're planning to reanimate the monster. We have to report this to the Chief Justice.
The Fortress of Meripede. It's a good place for me.
He owes me so many answers.
Nervillette? You could say he's the real symbol of Fontaine's justice.
Watch him closely. He could be trouble.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
Who's been threatening Melusines? Show yourself!
You will see much in the human world, from the delightful to the depressing. And one day, when you have dwelt among humanity long enough, you will be placed to bring judgment over all as a spokesperson for Fontaine's past.
Good morning, Monsieur Neuvillette! The rainy season's almost over! The skies are supposed to clear in a few days!
I hope you find time to enjoy the sunny days ahead.
Is the matter resolved?
Yep, we found the person who sent that threatening letter. Risley said he'd keep a close eye on him, so the
Oh, that's wonderful.
Sorry for dragging you all into this.
There's no need to apologize.
Yeah, you didn't drag us in. We got involved of our own accord.
By the way, where's Kiara?
At the Palais Mermonia, more than 50 people offered to protect her. Some even hid within the bushes to look out for danger. I was worried that the excess of protection would make her feel uneasy, so I asked her to stay inside the Palais. It's very safe in there.
Well, now it looks like the dust has finally to celebrate this joyous occasion. Monsieur Neuvillette.
That's not how you celebrate!
I will
Really?
Of course. My schedule is full for the following weeks, but I should be available next month. Come up with questions during the intervening days, and I will answer them to the best of my ability.
Yes!
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must head back to the Palais and issue a communique to publicize our investigation results. I hope it will assuage the concerns of all.
Welcome to the court of Fontaine. Please watch your step.
Kiara? It's quite all right. I'm here to...
Thank you, Monsieur. And thank you too, Traveler and Big Sis Paimon. Everyone's been...
Do you remember Domenico?
Let me think. By the way, I saw Carol in my dreams just now. In my dream, she looked really happy. She held my hand and said, Kiara. I can't remember what our dreams were anymore, and I don't know why. But I felt...
I can sense your joy. It is indeed a delight.
Monsieur... Oh, I almost forgot! Am I allowed... I promised to model for Alof.
Of course.
See you next time, Monsieur.
See you next time.
Didn't keep you waiting, did...
Who ate...